Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Answer in 5. And we are going to hopefully cover 2 questions today. So I want to make sure that I've got everything set up right and I get to see the questions come through. Okay, so LinkedIn's got me. Thank you. I want to go on to answering a cooling question from someone who is making rotis and naan without adding any food preservatives and supplying it to supermarkets. Sometimes we face early mold issues. What can be the guidelines and what do we really need to add in terms of natural preservatives? Usually in your case, with a roti or naan that it doesn't have a long fermentation time, means your pH is not low enough, means that you probably would have a very short shelf life. You would need a preservative like calcium propionate. So go to our CalPro page, calcium propionate page, to learn more about calcium propionate. The alternative to calcium propionate is, of course, cultured wheat. So go to our cultured wheat and J&K's on that page. If you need samples, you can just click on the ad and they'll send you samples. And the issue is really the sanitation of the areas that you produce in. Make sure that people are wearing gloves. Make sure that your packaging equipment and surfaces and anything after the baking area, including the wire racks where you cool the product, make sure those are clean. That could be a really simple fix by making sure it's clean and sanitized every day. Yes, every day. Okay, if you're having frequent mold issues. If that is still not enough, I'll say use your cultured wheat. A cultured wheat product could be anywhere between 1 to 1.5 dry flour weight percent. And that would give you a good shelf life and extend the shelf life for another 3 to 4 days, given the right packaging, conditions, equipment, and material. I would also like you to make sure that there are no temperature variation during the delivery and storage of your product. That way you won't get any kind of condensation of free water within the package. So those are the things to look at if you want to improve your life for your naan or roti product. Next question is actually a really interesting question. I did some research on it. And it came from our oven humidity page. It basically says, I have a design to produce, build a simple oven to produce black garlic, and it runs over a long period of time. We require it to run at 75 degrees Celsius, which is about 150 odd degrees Fahrenheit. At 70% relative humidity. We are controlling the temps perfectly, but the relative humidity is hard to control. Is it possible to try to achieve what I'm trying to achieve, which is 70 degrees Celsius at 70% relative humidity? So I think you went to the wrong page. It's not the oven humidity page. It's the relative humidity page. So please go check out the relative humidity page and it will tell you what you need to do to reach a certain relative humidity. On the relative humidity page, there is a psychromatic chart that you can follow, which pretty much tells you for 100 percent relative humidity, the wet bulb temperature needs to be the same as a dry bulb temperature. And this goes along any system that you use in the baking process. For 70 degrees relative humidity, if I'm not wrong, I saw somewhere between a wet bulb temperature of about 50 to 60 wet bulb. So it is possible. You just need to get and contain the humidity in the oven. And you need to have proper sensors that read right, and basically understand how you're going to keep the moisture within the oven. If your moisture's not high enough, that means some of it is evaporating. And if it's if it's too high, means that there's something wrong with your vaporizer. I know a company out there called ECD, Electronic Control Design. If you click on the ad on the thermal profile page, you will get to their information. You may ask them if you could get a sensor that can really read what you're trying to do. I think that it's a sensor issue. I am not 100% sure. I also think that you did not provide me enough information for me to really give you a solid recommendation. But talking to experts like Electronic Control Design, ECD, you should be able to figure out a solution for yourself. All right, so that's all the 2 questions we have today. And I hope I helped you guys. I will have more questions, and I'll be back tomorrow. And I'll be back in the lab, hopefully firing up the tandoori oven for our Friday class. We'll see how that goes, because we have not fired out a tandoori oven in a long time. And in terms of making pita, I haven't made pita in a long time. So I better get my fingers going. Better stick some dough to the tandoori oven and make sure it works before I make an embarrassment of myself on Friday. Okay, so pizza class on Friday. I see a lot of signups. Thank you for coming on to the first live stream for BAKERpedia in terms of us sharing our knowledge online on live stream. So really excited about that. And we are still open for signups until the last minute. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for all your claps. I really appreciate it.